Hello again, it's Tuesday the 4th of March 2025 and I'm back at my usual start point when I'm coming to Kinder Scout. So at the moment I've looked at the weather forecast and they reckon the lows are going to be -1, -2 tonight, round about just after midnight, with winds picking up to 20 mile an hour. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to go and park in the Edale car park, walk along the footpath to Upper Booth, and then I'm going to make my way up Crowden Clough and then up towards, through Crowden Towers. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to cross the plateau to Fairbrook Naze or go round past Pim's Chair and Edale Rocks and the Downfall, and then maybe continue the perimeter round towards Fairbrook Naze. I'm just going to see how I feel when I get up to the top of Crowden Brook, because it's been years since I've actually done that scramble up there. So yeah, I'm expecting obviously like a couple of hours, whatever. So once I get going, I'm going to start with an explanation of my last camp. So basically what happened was I set off and got to a point where my power in my phone went and everything else. And I didn't do a great deal of filming other than when I was in my tent. But it was quite an exciting adventure, let's call it that. So yeah, so when I get going, I'll chat about that and tell you what happened. Yeah, so I've got me pack weight of 9 kilograms today. That's including my Hilleberg Soulo and the black label poles. So I've swapped out my Panyam 650 sleeping bag for my Cumulus 450. I've not brought me down trousers, not brought me down boots. What other changes? I made a couple of minor ones. So yeah, so it's only 9 kilos, but I've just bought this sandwich. It's the size of a small newborn baby. And it cost me £8 from Danny's Deli. Pastrami, cheese, ham, all sorts. Anyway, I'm sure it's going to fill me. So yeah, so that's going to be my evening meal. So yeah, I'll see you when I get my pack on and we start walking towards Crowden Towers. So yeah, so the plan is to go up Crowden Clough, one way or the other end up at Fairbrook Naze, and then tomorrow when I'm coming back, I'm going to go down Crowden Brook. So yeah, so there's going to be a portion of today's video that you're going to see at the end of my last video, which I haven't published yet, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So here's a view from afar where I'm going to be going from. So over there, down there, and then up that gully system in front of us where it's dark. Okay, so I've just come through the overspill car park, the one that's next to the train station, and then I am taking a left here at the Barber Booth sign. I'm following the path that's going to lead me to the start of Crowden Clough, which is over that direction. So you just take a quick look at the pack. So I'm with the Z packs 60 litres. Like I said earlier, it's 9 kilogram load out today. Notice that my black label poles are inside along with my Soulo tent, or solo tent, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, all nice and neat, just my waterproof and my map and my walking poles and my selfie stick on the outside of that, and my Temra's gloves. brown knoll in front of us there. Jacob's ladder's over that way. And that's Broadley Bank Tor, where there's a bit of an escarpment on it. And then if you look up there, that's the left-hand edge of the Woolpacks, and we're heading for that dark gorge. That's Crowden Clough, and you can see Crowden Towers just there. Look what I've just found. I've just unzipped it. It has got, look at that lot. I mean, I don't smoke it, but I don't know how much it cost. Is there some in that as well? And then all the paraphernalia. Let me have a look at this. God knows what that is. But yeah, I'll leave it hung up so that somebody who does, oh Jesus, it smells like pure, what they call it, is it skunk? Yeah, so I'll leave it. Wow, that's strong, that. So I'm going to leave it on that branch. There it is. So whoever's passing, if they partake in Mother Nature's herbs, then they can have that, can't they? How much do you reckon that cost? I have no idea. But it's going to make somebody's day, isn't it? I don't know if you can see that, but it says I love poo, and there's like a little smiley face in the second O. So if you love shit, down there is a bag of it in the tree you can have for free, because I don't love poo. So here we go now. We're now at the start of the meat and potatoes of the route. I'm off my turnips. I'm being chased by leprechauns. No, I'm only joking. I've not smoked any of that shit. I definitely left it on that tree. I want to show you this bit. So, if you don't know, this is a perfect plunge pool. Probably alright for now if you've got the cojones for it, but better left till the
warm weather. So let's go over the other side. I'll show you how deep it is. This is where you get in.
It's a great spot, that. You can see what's coming up ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if that's my mate on Crowden Tower. Yeah, you could probably get a nice little pitch there too. So, back over the other side. Yeah, and I'll see you when we get to the actual scrambling. There's, excuse me, 4 people in front of us there, 2 in red and 2 in blue. We've just traversed in front of Crowden Towers. Okay, I'm not sure how I'm going to work this filming wise, but I've got the camera in my hand and I'm planning to go up that where the water's coming down there, but sort of veering off to the left a bit. So yeah, let's see how we go. Yeah, I'm gonna take that route there. It's a bit too wet for that. All this Kinder Beer or Kinder Tea, whatever you prefer. Could do with a helmet really for this sort of stuff. Just sort of thought putting the camera on really. You wouldn't want to fall down there, would you? Well, that's pretty much the crux of it done now. Suppose that's the sketchiest part. So just get up these last bits.
So this is the top that most of you will recognise, sorry, the crossing point of Crowden Clough. So I've just come up that gully there. So that's the gully over now. A lot of you will recognise this if you come up to Kinder. So now I intend to go that way and meet Crowden Head, and then I'm going to make a beeline to Fairbrook Naze. So I'll see if something exciting happens. Hopefully we might even see a hare still with its winter coat on. Are we there yet? No, we're not. Get back in me. Right, pitched up. What a great night. Wind's about 25 mile an hour. Some guys over there. My mate's over there, Antoinette, and then behind him there's another two guys. So yeah, got the solo with me. The 10mm poles, doing fine. I've got one peg, struggling to get in. That one. Yeah, here we go. Right, good evening. It's been a good day. It's been a great day. Started off bad because I got a message off my work telling me that I've got a parking fine for 60 quid, but that to one side, I've had a good day. I've had a good hike, and I'm in my tent now, blowing 25 mile an hour winds outside, but I'm in my bomb-proof hut in the Hilleberg Soulo with the red label with the black poles, so all's going to be well. Supposed to be going down to -2 tonight, but I'll be fine. I've got myself a nice sandwich. 8 quid this cost me from Danny's Deli on the way here. It's got pastrami, ham, cheese, roast beef, chicken, all sorts. Like a vegetarian's delight. Not. Anyway, I'm going to get stuck into this, and then, oh, look at that, look at that. I want to show you. Can you see that? 8 quid, it weighs about 1 kilogram. Yeah, I'm going to have to eat this, I'm hungry. Catch up with you in a bit. See you later. Hello again. I've just had my sandwich. That was amazing, that. Oh, best sandwich I've ever had. Right, I'm making this clip to put on the end of last week's camp because I didn't really finish it off properly because well, for various reasons which I'm going to explain now. So obviously, like, today's the 4th of March. So if you're watching my latest video, this will be in that. But also, it's going to be in last week's video, which I'm going to put up first, if that makes sense. So yeah, so what happened last week was, two of my mates was coming out. One of them was Andy Beavers and the other one was Carl Anthony. And we'd planned on pretty much going to the northern edge. This is where I am tonight. I'm on at Fairbrook right now. So what happened was, we'd all decided we was going out, but not necessarily together. And as it turned out, we all met up in the car park at the same time. So me and Andy walked up Brinsbrook Clough, and Anthony he went up towards Ringing Roger, and obviously, like when we're in the car park, we're talking about the weather and stuff like that. There was no wind at all, and it's quite warm. But as all three of us was getting towards the top, the wind was, getting stronger and stronger, and we'd kind of like regrouped then. So Anthony had figured out that the wind would be too strong on the northern side, so he headed over towards Pym Chair. At the time, me and Andy was just sort of scouting round there. We was pretty much looking for a place that was out of the wind, and we went over, all three of us then kind of like, we then became a party, if you like, of three. So we went over towards Redbrook. There's a spot there, and it's not quite big enough for three. You get 2 tents in there, no problem, but 3 at a push. But still, the wind had increased, and it was really windy there. So we then went over towards Kinder Downfall, and there was some guy, well, there was a tent there anyway. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, and they was already pitched, and they obviously like got the best spot. So we're kind of mooching around, but it's like we started off walking at 2, and it was getting on for about 8 o'clock when we'd gone to have a look for a place that I thought I remembered, which we couldn't find. And then when Andy and Anthony started to pitch the tent, I just thought I'll be a little bit crafty and I'll work my way back and go to one of the spots we'd passed that was definitely big enough for one. But the weather had gotten worse. I mean, the winds was like 25 mile an hour, and it was with the wind chill, it was getting down to, I'd confidently say it was like minus 13 at the point, like 15 minutes after I left them. And then I could see these lights in the distance, which turned out to be the Martin Rescue looking for this girl. So I found out the next day that she'd basically pressed some alert on the latest iPhone, and that sends the location to emergency services, like, saying I'm in trouble pretty much. Anyway, so what happened with me was, when I met the first bunch of Martin Rescue, I could see, well, I realised later that they was doing the job, because they were asking me a few questions, obviously trying to figure out if I was suffering the effects of hypothermia or whatever, because, to them I was like, some bloke wandering about in the dark, but I wasn't wandering, and I knew exactly where I was, and I was well capable to handle the conditions. I was with the kit that I had with me, but obviously they see me without a headlight on, and head torch on, not headlamp. I'm not a car. So yeah, you'll know now that I ended up dropping down to Kinder Low End, which again, it was really a good decision, because I got out of that strong wind. But confusion set in, because Anthony earlier on in the day had sent me a text message saying that something to the effect that he was at Pym's Chair, and what had happened was I didn't receive that message until 8:30 at night, or he could have been getting them for 9 o'clock. But in my mind, when I like dropped down to Kinder Low End and pitched me Sulu, I'd escaped from the wind, but then the wind had changed directions again. I thought that they'd sacked it where I'd left them pitching their tent at Kinder Downfall. I thought they'd just thought, it wasn't a good option, and they'd move. So I then became really concerned about them, because I'm thinking, it doesn't make sense to me that, because they must be having a really brutal time, because if they'd gone to Pym's Chair with the direction the wind was coming from, it would have been worse there. So I'm thinking, blimey, they're up there in the freezing cold,
And I knew they had good kit with them, but you know, with the wind chill being like I say, you know, well, the forecast said it was going to be -11, but I'm telling you it was like probably getting on for -13, because then the reason that I'm saying that is because quite recently when I was in the lakes at Fleetwith Pike, the wind chill was -11 there, and this felt worse. So yeah, so I'm down in my safe spot, and I'm starting to worry about them two, thinking, you know, what sleeping bags have they got? I'm thinking about, you know, trying to make a hot brew on the meth stove in that wind, and I just knew there was no escaping it. So it bothered me a lot. But like I say, that was just total confusion, because I ended up getting this text message late, because, you know, my phone was in my rucksack, and I might have just switched it on when I pitched up, I'm not sure, but yeah. So the reason that I've decided to finish this video off with this conversation is because I just want to remind everyone that I didn't take my spikes, and it's not me being stupid, because I'd planned on pretty much going out on my own and sort of like just having to think for myself. And by rights, if I had gone out on my own and I hadn't seen them two, I would have been in my tent well before the dark. And I wasn't, was I? So it's no one's fault, other than my own, really, like leaving it so late to pitch. But when you're trying to find, the point I'm trying to raise is that it's difficult on Kinder Scout to find a pitch that's suitable for 3 people. I mean, you're lucky when you find a flat one just for one. I mean, I know, you know, several spots, which I've said before, but Kinder Scout's becoming more and more popular, and people are sussing out where these places are. So, especially on a weekend, there isn't much option for a real comfortable flat spot. So just be aware that if you come up here in winter and you haven't got the right kit, you're setting yourself up for a disaster. All these people, I'm not going to mention any YouTube channel names, but you're often hearing, you know, that's an overkill, blah, blah. Just trust me, that is total bullshit. Just if you're going to come up here, I know it's only 600 metres, but it can be as bad as the Alps. It really can. And I don't want people thinking they can get away with inferior gear, because, you know, there's like remnants of tents scattered around this place, wedged under boulders with rocks on them and stuff like that have failed. And yeah, you've just got to be careful, because you don't want to end up like that girl did, having to call out the mountain rescue, or even worse, you know, full on to hypothermia and dead, because that's what can happen. And once the cold sets in, if you're on your own, your brain starts to close down, your thought processes and everything, and you don't really have that much time before it's curtains. So yeah, so I just thought I'd get this bit in to finish off last week's video. But on top, I also want to say that I've got a problem with my phone. It doesn't do well at all in the cold. So when I've woke up at Kinder Low End, I've lost the power on my phone, even though I had a Nightcore 10,000 milliamp charger with me. It just wasn't charging my phone. And because I hadn't been down to Kinder Low End for quite a few years, I can't even remember how many years, it's more than 10 anyway, but I'd not got a map with me, but I knew where Hayfield is, and but what I hadn't calculated for was the number of valleys before Edale. So when I first got up, I thought I could see Grinslow Knoll, and it wasn't. And then it dawned on me, I thought, hang on a minute, I've got a hefty walk here back to Edale. And what I forgot to mention was, the night before when it was really cold, my water frozen, and I had my bottle tucked down my top, trying to defrost it so I could drink, but I was getting cramp in my thighs. So
then the next morning now, when I woke up, I'm thinking I don't want it to like be, you know, going, gaining altitude again, hiking uphill. I just wanted an easy option back to the car park. So what I did was, I walked down into Hayfield, ended up chatting to some old bloke who gave me a cup of coffee at his house. So I just happened to give him a quick comment on how nice his garden was and that, and then he was asking me where he'd been, so I was telling him about, you know, telling him a little story, how cold it was up there. Yeah, so then he told me where the bus stop was, and I ended up walking to the bus stop and then getting the bus to the train station in New Mills and then the train back to Edale. Yeah, so, you know, like I say, just be careful when you're coming up here when the conditions are bad. So yeah, it turned out hyper icy, and again I didn't have my crampons or micro spikes. Yeah, it's one of them, innit? Anyway, so you can skip this if you're watching today's video. So I'm going to split them up anyway. So last week's you'll probably see on the 5th or 6th. And then today's, which I'm doing on the 4th, you'll probably see that the day after. Anyway, take care, everyone. It's saying at 2 o'clock it's going to get to -2, and the wind is supposed to be 14 kilometres, but I'd say they're more in the mid-20s right now, and it's 10:15. Morning, it's 5:30. I've just been out to check the guy lines because it's been like 25-30 mile an hour wind all night, relentless. I just made myself a nice cup of coffee, the old Taylor's roast 4, but I don't think I'll be getting up because it's still dark out there. And anyway, I've met up with my mate last night, haven't I? Anthony's down there, so yeah, I might just drink this and get back to sleep. Yeah, I had no condensation whatsoever last night. I didn't even have the panel unzipped on the on this one, you know, just so that I've got the mesh and the airflow can get through. So I mean, I've got that open now because I've just been making a brew, just zipped it back up. But yeah, it's been relentless, the wind, but I've not had any problem sleeping through it because I've had my radio on low, and I struggle with tinnitus, more so in my left ear than my right, and the sort of wind and a low radio noise cancels it out, so it don't disturb me. Yeah, so guy lines was fine. I thought they might have been loose because sometimes when you get heavy rain, the Hilleberg guy lines can loosen off a little bit, but no, they've not budged at all. It's all fine. I did have my enlightened equipment top bag over me as well, and again, zero condensation on the inner of the tent, but this is damp, so it just shows you how well they work. If you haven't got into top synthetic quilt top covers, honestly I can't recommend them enough. They're a game changer. Yeah, so I've been thinking about them drugs I found. Now, I've just realised as well, you can probably hear me a lot better now because me, like a plonker, I've not had my bloody mic paired with my camera. So I apologise now, even though it's a bit too late, that the recording of the sound was going through my camera, not from this. I forgot you've got to pair them up. What am I like? I really need to put some serious effort into editing, don't I? Because I was thinking about them drugs, and I was thinking if I could edit and, like, you know, bring all these little what do you call them, emojis, whatever, these little scenes I thought it would have been funny, wouldn't it, to put some like psychedelic stuff on there. But I can't edit, as you know, I'm just winging it. Anyway, I hope they found a new home. Right, so I'm going to drink this, try and get a little bit more kip, and yeah, I'm not sure which way I'm going back because I've hooked up with my friend now, and if nothing exciting happens on the way back, I'll see you in the car park. All right, see you in a minute. Oh yeah, just quickly. So I'm back out on the Nemo Tensor Extreme Conditions. Oh, what a difference they make. So in defence of the Big Agnes, yeah, it is comfy. It is very comfy, but I mean, I don't know if it's a weight thing or whatever. Different people being different weights find it warmer than me, but I'm 85, 86 kilograms. And when I'm lay like I am now on my elbow and on my hip, it just bottoms out, and I've got as much pressure in it as I can, as much air in as I can, and I can still feel the cold through my hip. So certainly for a 8 or 6 or whatever, 4.6 it might be, it's well below par anyway in terms of insulation, and it does definitely say insulated on mine. So yeah, from now on it's just going to be a summer mat. And again, like I said before, this Nemo Tensor Extreme Conditions, it's a very low volume pad when it's packed. So this is a size regular wide what I'm on, and I've decided that for next winter I'm going to sell it and get the long wide, just because it'll fill out the volume of my bathtubs on my tents better. So like on this Hilleberg here, there's like, what's that? It's over a foot. It's like that much. So yeah, it'd just be nice, wouldn't it, to have that extra floor space filled in with an insulated pad. So yeah, so I just wanted to get that across. Yeah, but comfort-wise, I mean, this is good. This is like much better than Thermalist X-Therm, but it's not quite as comfy as the Big Agnes. So yeah, Big Agnes, you're a summer mat, not a winter mat, in my opinion. That's just wanted to tell you that lot. Right, look at this sky. How nice is that? That's what you want to wake up to, don't you? But I'm not getting out of bed yet. Okay, it's 8 o'clock now, so wind's still high. Guy's still there in his Terra Nova. I've put my rucksack down there while I strike my tent. Okay, it's time to say goodbye until the next one. So yeah, I've got some issue with this mic. I need to do a bit more studying, don't I? Do a bit more research on the YouTube channels and that. But yeah, so I'm back off safely now, ready for a nice home cooked breakfast for a change instead of going to my usual place. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one.
And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.